All right, YouTube, today we have a video, and it is by LunaticJ. Essentially, these speedrunners beat the Brawl demo of Ocarina of Time. For those that don't know, back in the Wii, on Super Smash Bros Brawl, there was like a big demo section in the extras of the game, and they were timed demos around like 20 minutes. Sometimes there were 3-minute demos, and Ocarina of Time was one of those demos. They were just trying to show off, I guess, the history of the games that were represented in Smash Brothers. So they just kind of did that. But these guys happened to beat the game in the demo because it wasn't really a demo. The whole game is in, Brawl essentially, but they just timed it out. So let's see how they did that right now. There he is, just rolling. I'm pretty sure to do with the bomb. Yeah, see, he's probably gonna explain it, but it's genuinely crazy. There's the Brawl music, dude. Brawl wasn't very good, but I'll say something. Music.
Pikachu, Sonic.
Yeah.
Who the heck are you?
Dude, when they showed like Snake and stuff, people were hype. This is where I did Project M as well. Yeah. So they had trials of the games. I guess maybe demos not the proper word.
These demos
Just click in just so I can just hit spacebar. Oh, I double click.
And once the
There you
trial's time limit ran out,
you'd be booted back to the game.
You only have 5 minutes of
Okay, so it's 5 minutes. Okay, yeah. So these people basically had to beat Ocarina of Time within 5 minutes for their speed run, and I just find that really crazy because I don't think that was like a thing.
That's not nearly enough time to do more than run around for a bit.
Yeah, you can't do much.
Well,
they figured it out though.
Of 2021,
this guy did it, I guess.
Speedrunners have managed to defeat Ganon and reach the end credits within the
August of 2021.
How?
It's crazy that it took that long.
This seems completely impossible.
That's the craziest part. Didn't Brawl come out in like 07 or something? I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it came out around that time. So this was like big history when it happened, for sure. Speedrunning history and speedrunning in general is so hype. So to find super dedicated players to do this is actually really awesome.
But over the past couple months, a lot of research, brainstorming, and creativity has been conducted in order to pull this all off.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's the bomb. They definitely bomb skipped, if I'm correct.
I am going to go over the whole quest.
I'm pretty sure it was just bomb skip.
5-minute demo. Each significant route
the fact that people find this stuff too is nuts.
Very complex strategies
I love this. Yeah. How speedrunners beat The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time in the 5-minute Brawl demo. That's very long-winded, but yeah, this is pretty nuts. That's my vocabulary at this point. Oh, thank you, Mr. Cheese and Safe State. They see? Look, they got this down.
I should probably talk about
explain the trial system.
From a fresh copy
so
of Ocarina
I am actually interested. What is the differences?
The Brawl demo contains the entire game.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. So basically, they have the entire game.
Small snippets. The demo, of course, has a 5-minute timer.
Yeah.
That starts ticking down after the game is loaded.
Interesting.
Booting you out once time.
Oh, that's interesting about the trials as well. They put you in weird spots.
As you'll be unable to reload your
you can't reload it.
Playing the demo again after resetting or running out.
Understood. We're getting the rules.
The Brawl demo contains 2
Link and Link. I think one's like young and one's adult.
Link starts off in Kokiri Forest as Child Link with the sword, shield, and 50.
So there's 2 versions. That's right. See, I'm remembering this now. I don't think when I was a kid, when I did all these demo things, I don't think I ever did say Fire 2. I think I was just like, oh, young Link. But it's funny, too, because I actually owned this game on the GameCube with the promotional discs. So I don't know why I was playing the demos anyway.
As an adult before any adult
dumb kid things.
Cleared. There are some notable differences between the North American and Japanese.
This is interesting. Japanese is faster as well because of the text, if I'm correct.
As a child, the adult files beginning with a different amount of health.
That's interesting.
Items, and Mido blocking the path to lost.
Okay, so it's different.
American demo, but not
in the Japanese demo. What?
These pre-made files are
okay. So imagine there's different speedrunning.
This was all even possible.
Imagine there's different speedrunning ones.
Not only creating a new save file, but the nearly 3
yeah. See, there's the bomb skip. It looked like.
Well, without these save files,
look at
the demo would
certainly
be impossible.
Move myself a bit more in the corner.
What could you really do in just 5 minutes?
Probably not much.
In January 2019,
enough.
Ocarina of Time speedrunning legend
there you go.
ZFG was messing around
ZFG.
in the Brawl demo. And using
Dude, they were messing around.
An assortment of glitches,
Were they messing around and they got pretty far?
The water temple and shadow
and then it ended.
On separate runs
Dude, that's... I love that too. It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just be this guy and just like mess around in the demo. He's just like, I'm gonna just mess around in here and see what I can do. Oh, I beat the boss. And then it just turned to somebody like, but can I feasibly beat the game?
Ganon remained out of
the fact that somebody had to like actually thought about it and it was done is nuts.
Too much. That is,
like he's just running into there.
2021, with any % world record.
Any percent. Look at them. Look at save state.
Interesting question in the chat.
Can we finally beat OT and Brawl?
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying.
Depends on what adult has.
Some person had
adult
like
has something good.
Big brain. They're like, can I? Can you? Huh? Possible?
We might be able.
This is awesome, man.
Credits. SRM.
Yeah.
Lost Woods.
Yeah. Apparently, there's like a way to beat the game like immediately.
Yeah, we could probably credits warp. Yeah, I'm sure. Okay, we could probably credits warp in
Yeah, credits warp. I think that's like a thing.
Lost Woods.
So this is cool. Again, and you can tell in the Japanese version because faster text, so you could get faster speed run time.
In the game had been discovered. Stale reference manipulation.
SRM?
Or SRM for short.
Okay. What is this SRM? I love how you could see just like the coordinates and stuff like right there.
Big, Mr. Cheese,
Mr. Cheese,
Roman, Thero,
yep.
Dash, MZX Rules,
MZX Rules.
Natalia has died.
Look at all these names. No.
SRM was found to have several
I don't know what that was.
Such as editing the contents of a treasure chest.
Anyways, that was just obnoxious. My bad.
Location, obtaining all the items in the game by loading the debug save file.
Okay, so the debugging and stuff.
Not normally obtainable, and even arbitrary code.
Interesting. Okay, this makes sense though. They have to mess around to kind of see what makes the demo tick.
When Link carries an object
and such
as a rock, pot, or a bush, the game gives him a reference to where.
Well, they're talking about. He's not talking about the demo, but you know how the game ticks in general, which in turn would be the demo since it's an entire game.
And rotation data to the thing he's carrying.
So this is cool.
The illusion that he's holding that thing above his head, which is key
yeah.
to how SRM
it's an illusion,
works.
huh?
If the object
that real?
is deleted while not breaking the reference to the area in memory where it was, then something else can load
what happens?
Place and receive that rotation.
Oh, so it turns into something else
from Link, potentially overwriting arbitrary attributes of the new actor.
Got it.
To control what loads in the area of
We're
memory
learning.
That the thing
We're learning.
was holding used to be, we have to perform something called a heap manipulation.
Dude, I want to know how people come up with these names, man. Like, oh, we're gonna call this one heap manipulation. Like I understand the stuff like SRM because it's like, oh yeah, that's just generic. But when you come up with like sometimes like skips are just named after people that discover it, so like that makes sense. But some of these names, dude.
For example, between each square and Lost Woods,
we might get an explanation here.
Stuff from the new room and then unload stuff from the previous room.
So Lost Woods, I could understand that being a bit because you're just teleporting every single time you go and mess up.
By doing things such as dropping bombs.
So that's probably why it works in Lost Woods, I'd imagine.
Or by charging your sword over one.
Here we go.
By performing a predetermined set of actions while crossing loading planes, we are able to perform heap.
Yeah, so it is a loading plane. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I'd imagine if you go into loading zone, it would trip up the game. I'm assuming like if you're holding a specific item and then load, the game kind of goes, ooh.
While it unloads while cold, and then
I think this is what's happening.
Pick it up after it was unloaded. The important thing here is that the actor must unload while it's cold. This is because the game never properly clears out the data that prevents Link from picking it up if it's unloaded.
So it doesn't clear.
This can be accomplished by using.
I don't people do bomb skips.
Off the grabbable actor with an inverted
see, I don't people do that. Again, though, the amount of skill I see on this too, the fact you have to like time your inputs is actually crazy.
Which gives Link a stale reference.
Stale reference,
when
gotcha.
Link then walks into another room. Things from the new
that's what I'm saying, man. People go in the code like that. Like, that's awesome, man.
Allowing him to write the position and rotation data to whatever is loaded in the place in memory he has a stale reference to.
Okay.
Thus allowing for stale reference manipulation.
But look at that manipulation. To unlock Ocarina of Time and Brawl, you have to beat Subspace Campaign, then fight Toon Link, Toon Link then needs to play 10 matches of versus to unlock the Ocarina of Time demo in Brawl. Huh. See, talking about that, remember when you used to unlock things in video games and it wasn't just here's my wallet? Remember when you actually had to unlock things and it was some things were actually kind of cool? Yeah, those were good times. Something that I remember is in Halo when you had to do certain achievements to unlock some armor pieces and such. I miss that, don't I?
Save State spent 2.5 hours.
I'm just an old man yelling at clouds.
Time demo in Brawl. Once that was all said and done,
Okay.
Save State began testing out some ideas.
Look like I love this though. It's just like very testing, experimenting. It's scientific.
You would boot up the Japanese Brawl demo
because it's quicker.
Adult file.
And obviously different items and such.
Time, you would quickly head to the Lost Woods by super
it's not blocked off, so well, one of the places not blocked off.
Boosting off this bridge using the bombs provided in your inventory.
Nice.
After this, you
jump
would
off.
The grotto next to the shortcut.
Dude, these are crazy. Like,
in your bottle.
I'm saying the skill it takes.
In the heat manipulation, and a piece of grass
I guess so you need that.
To be unloaded and cold in order for Link to set up
a piece of grass.
Where this grotto in the Lost Woods would be modified to warp Link straight to the final fight.
The fact that people figure this stuff out.
Hours into the stream, Save State began some attempts and managed to successfully pull off the wrong warp after a few tries.
All right.
For the first
That's
time ever,
mega impressive.
had reached the final boss in Brawl's
in the Brawl demo, somebody made it into the final boss. The cutscene? The cutscene too, probably.
Ironically, catching the fish responsible for the Grotto SRM wrong warp left
That's
no
2
time
minutes.
for Ganon to be defeated. After ending their stream, Save State began looking for different
so they're looking more.
A Python script developed by Mr. Cheese. In which
this is cool. It's like tasks and stuff. Like I said, this is awesome. It's like scientific. I love that. I mean, I think in some ways it kind of kills the discovery because it's artificial like that. But other ways, like I don't think this ever would have been found within a good amount of time if it wasn't like this.
A couple new ideas were tossed around. There was a credits warp idea using SRM and def warps to edit the
this stuff's scary, but it's also like, okay, I get it.
Numerous bottlenecks made the route to
okay, so bottlenecks required dying and respawning, which was slow. Catching a fish with child wasted a lot of time. The SRM setup was both position and angle perfect. That's what I'm saying. When people like figure out and do the skill to angle everything and position everything, like
using the restricted items glitch in order to set Farore's Wind
in
Lost Woods, and then use SRM to alter the Farore's Wind warp location to the credits. But this also
let's see. No hook shot made entering Lost Woods a bit slower. A precise rotation value is needed, and you only have one attempt with the 5-minute time limit. So it's 1 in 16 crapshoot.
Not too long after
I see.
Failed,
here's Mr. Cheese.
For a few weeks after Mr. Cheese discovered a faster route for the main any % speed run. Using a technique known as file name light node SRM, and thus
I like how it's just still SRM but different name.
Route. Light node SRM is a particularly powerful form of SRM,
interesting,
which can directly modify the game's RAM, which allows.
Okay, that reminds me of like back in the day, you would move I believe this is like a similar concept. So if you would wiggle the cartridge, it would cause the game to do different glitches and stuff. And I feel like that's a similar thing to this, right?
For arbitrary code execution.
Or I'm pretty sure that's like a RAM swap and stuff. Or you could also just like swap cartridges as well as like swap games and stuff, and it would be like, oh.
SRM and Kokiri Forest, the reference a fairy has to the light node.
Forgot what that like specific thing was called.
Is replaced with a reference to the save file name, in which both halves of the file name are treated as pointers, with both halves copying the other's values to the other half's address.
Okay.
This was used to instantly trigger the credits, but this was unlikely to work in the Brawl demo because there was no time at all to perform this glitch, since creating a new file with a specific name and sitting in the opening cutscene wasted so much time.
So that wasted.
However, on
that's
August
crazy.
8th, Mr. Cheese
almost 5 minutes.
A video detailing his idea for beating the Brawl
Let's see what
demo
Mr. Cheese
using a
has.
different form of
Let's see what
light
Mr.
node
Cheese has
SRM.
in mind.
You would load up the child link file, purchase Deku Nuts from the shop, and perform a heap manip across an invisible loading plane
Probably like
between the
Fling,
village
right?
area and the Great Deku Tree. Afterwards, the return A glitch is used to invert the camera until
Gotcha.
Link enters the crawl space leading to the rocket.
But how
maze.
hard is the execution
After
here?
crawling back out, the Deku Nuts are used to perform the walking while
Breaks
talking
that?
glitch, so that when Link walks over to this rock and strikes it with his sword, the camera locks into a position where Link can pull and unload the rock for SRM. The unloaded rock is then dropped near the loading plane at
Dude,
a
how do
angle
people
before crossing
find
the
this
loading
stuff,
plane.
man?
When the loading plane is crossed while
Like, I know,
buttons
like,
and a
they were
precise
using,
control
like, their
stick position is held,
their
it
little, like,
modifies
task
the ramp without
machine
needing a
thing, but
unique file name.
still.
This makes it so that when Link dies and you quit to return to the title screen, a wrong warp will occur and send you to
So
a
when you
location
die, it
based
sends
on your
you,
current
it sends
entrance
you,
value.
oh my
By
gosh.
dying when entering the
So if you
Deku
die,
Tree,
you go to
the
credits?
printout will
Is that what he
warp into
figured
the
out?
current save file that the title screen uses.
The
Upon
title
loading,
screen save
Link
file?
spawns as
Bro,
an adult
what?
in Dodongo's cavern with a full inventory at your disposal. With this spawn point, Link can then head down to Kakariko Village and back
See?
up Death Mountain Trail
There's like
in
a
order to
hidden
set the
load.
entrance value needed for a credits warp upon death. This actually seemed like
So
it
you
could work,
die,
as it
spawn,
was just
die,
barely
credits.
fast enough to reach the credits before Brawl would kick you out. A milestone that none of the other setups had managed to reach. However, the inputs required for the light node
Again, it's
SRM
probably
to work
super
and the
tight,
overall
right?
timing were very tight. So tight that Mr. Cheese
Yeah,
would
so it's
then
like probably
post
like really
a faster
tight. You would
setup
have to like
several
pass
days
it.
later on August 14th. This time using the adult file
Here we
to
go.
perform light node SRM in the Lost
Light node
Woods,
SRM.
using bombs for the heap manip instead
Yeah,
of
I
using
knew it
a
had to do with the
fish,
bombs.
and then
I distinctly
using a
remember they're
death
like
long
bomb
warp to
warping or
reach
like
the
bomb
title
skipping of
screen
some sort. I
file
just
at
don't know the
Long
actual
Ranch
terms.
for the credits warp. This setup
They're using the
actually
bombs
looked quite promising.
to sacrifice
But
themselves.
yet again, there was one major roadblock. While the setups worked in the emulator Mupen 16,
Turns out this information is wrong. Ace doesn't really work well on Wii, VC, and GameCube because the recompiler crashes if a function ends with a jump instruction instead of junior. And if a function has already been recompiled, modifying it doesn't do anything. Turns out Zelda 64 Ace is only possible on the N64 itself, not GameCube and Virtual Console. It's because the N64 only looks at one opcode at a time, and then the thread ends.
it did not
Flashbang
work
though.
in the Brawl
Dude,
demo,
I
as that
never look
version
at Twitter on
used an emulator
like
that did
Twitter's
not
dark mode for me,
uncache
dude. What is this?
recompiled code. This ruled
There's
out
Mr.
any
Cheese
method of
replying.
SRM which had been run before modifying
As far as I can
and
tell,
it
they seem to have fixed both these
was back
flaws
to the drawing board
on the. Okay, so they fixed it
again.
according to Mr. Cheese.
Following this, Mr. Cheese returned to Save State's original idea of using Grotto SRM.
I like this too.
using
They're
the
going like
adult save file
they're going
or
back and they're like mixing
August
two
17th,
ideas.
Mr. Cheese would post a
That's
new
amazing.
Grotto SRM setup in the Lost Woods to wrong warp
Okay.
to the Ganon fight. And it was
It's another warping to
significantly
Ganon.
faster than the previous setups.
Than what Save State did.
Save State had also developed a quick and consistent angle setup for the SRM.
Okay, so they got a good
With
angle
this
now too.
breakthrough, defeating Ganon
Which makes
actually
this a
seemed
lot quicker.
possible. So when Save State
I like
booted
it
up
too
their
because it's not
screen
just
later that
credits
day,
warp. If they
it
actually
seemed
defeat Ganon and it's not
inevitable.
just straight to credits,
But
I
as
think
the
that's
stream
sick.
progressed, it soon became clear that
That
there
makes it
was
way more
still
cool.
a very slim margin for error. There just
Yeah, they
didn't
got
seem
like a
there was
minute
enough
left.
Wiggle room for a human to feasibly defeat Ganon in time, and so the route was shelved. Save State and Mr. Cheese then began to brainstorm.
Look
some
at
more
that though. Look at
ideas,
that brawl
and these
menu.
ideas would come to fruition the next day. The new plan involved heading to Lost Woods as an adult, grabbing a fish from the
Got
grotto
it.
outside Goron City, and then heading into Goron City. This
Uh-huh,
fish
uh-huh.
would then be used to perform a draw function SRM after
Drop bomb in room 3, drop 2 bombs in room 0, charge magic sword over transition, back to room 3 before bombs explode, drop fish. Like they have like so intricate, like all these setups are so intricate, bro. I love this so much.
loading plane. When a fish actor is spawned, there's an instruction that writes a
Got it.
float value to a
And I'd
F7
imagine at this point, this was years ago. They probably like optimized the crap out of this now that I think
can be
about it.
derived from where in memory the fish overlay was allocated. This is contained in what is
Instruction.
known as a fish overlay.
Instruction.
This fish overlay is key to the draw function SRM, as it points the draw
This
function
fish-
of an actor in Lost Woods
The
to
fish is
instruction
important.
in the fish overlay that does the float right.
Mm-hmm,
The float value from the context when the draw function is called has the actor's
Here we go.
rotation value, allowing us to write the rotation data of the
Yep, yep,
actor
yep.
to memory based on where the fish overlay was allocated.
Holy cow.
This will manipulate the current cutscene value later on, which when
If the fact that it like manipulates the cutscene
leads to a wrong warp to the credits upon voiding out.
like this one specific item is needed. Oh, that says something else now. IW draw pointer, SRM for 1.2, bomb cleared. Then it's the flags, from GameCube entrance to Lost Woods, drop fish, grab bush, closest to against the right wall, take it with you into the room 3 and drop it, drop bomb, unload all rooms except room 3, drop another fish to load room 2, the bomb explodes, unload all rooms except 2, deal. And the fact that he has like a little cheat sheet too.
In Lost Woods that had the proper entrance value
like
that
corner
would work
bush
with save state setup. However, this could be mitigated by using a grotto
I love
SRM
that.
setup, which warps Link to an unused Lost Wood entrance. From there,
unused Lost Woods entrance. Not an unused entrance, dude.
Stale fish code and write the unloaded bush's rotation angle to the current cutscene value. This activates the last played cutscene, which so happens to be the title screen cutscene.
The last played
cutscene. Cutscene from the
title
very
screen.
start of the demo, causing Link to teleport out of bounds to the coordinates of his initial position on the title screen cutscene.
That's
upon voiding
dude.
out, the game reloads.
Who figured this one out?
Combined with the new cutscene.
I mean, it's Mr. Save State and all that, but still.
This setup
so it is a credit skip though, but still.
Promising. But like all the other previous ideas,
yeah, they got to figure this one out.
Another problem.
There's a problem.
In the room in Lost Woods after the bridge damage boost
Is it
contained hostile skull kids.
Okay, I was gonna say skull kids.
These are not necessarily hard projectiles to avoid getting hit by.
But imagine if you're trying to do like a specific setup and stuff.
The dart spawning, which would mess up the heap manip. But as it turns out, Link could perform a Hess to navigate through the room faster.
Hyperextend, super slide. Yeah, there it is.
With nothing standing in their way.
Yeah, there's the bomb skip.
August 21st.
Did we finally get one?
Began this run.
Oh, the music. Look at the beauty. It's majestic, isn't it? It's quite wonderful to look at. This is... Oh, Link is dropping the fish. Save state is the one. More fish dropping. Corner bomb. We must obtain a bush that's there but not there. Go into the grotto. And now... Where? Ouch. I'm hyper sliding. Okay, I was expecting that. Here I go, bro. There's no way, man. Here it is. There.
That's it.
That's it.
That's absolutely it.
You did it.
We just need the Brawl demo.
Woo!
For OT.
That's hype. And then
and with that,
within like 8 seconds, it should like trial ended.
Beat Ocarina of Time within Super Smash Bros Brawl.
That's nuts, bro.
In the 13 years that Brawl had been out for, the masterpieces were nothing more than timed demos where you couldn't even come close to beating the games themselves.
Took that many years, man.
Save State, armed with impressive knowledge
Took that
of
many
OT,
years.
World record speedrunning experience, and astonishing
so impressive.
creativity, had finally bested the timer. The run has gained a significant amount of attention
438.
online, blowing the minds of hundreds of thousands.
Totally forgot how goated Smash Bros Brawl was with that demo select section. It was. I like how Nintendo just put a whole game on the end credits, up to the end credits, as if they expected anyone to be able to. Yep. That's so cool. If only these demos were broken enough to be able to beat this could turn a crazy speedrun category. But yeah. Let's just give them 5 minutes so they can get a quick taste of the game, but then they'll go have to buy it and beat it. Save state. Thanks for the full game, Nintendo.
Thousands of people who watched the run, and this will go down. As
how epic would have been beating the game before the 5-minute mark elapsed, broke the timer, and allowed you to play indefinitely.
In Ocarina of Time history.
That would be interesting.
Except there was just
there's so many easy ways to beat the game, to get the game though now. So
at the start of the video.
What's the issue?
Did say that
is he a liar?
Speedrunners had reached the end credits and defeated Ganon in the demo. Did I lie? Well, not really. You see,
did he lie?
Within the 5-minute time limit, It's impossible.
You can't defeat Ganon and see the credits in the same run. Okay, so you can defeat Ganon, but you won't get the credits.
In the same run.
Got it.
Now, I've explained how.
Like I said, this is still cool regardless.
Demo, and now I will explain how.
I'm assuming it's the Japanese being.
Remember that
a big part of it.
Idea to defeat Ganon I went over earlier and mentioned that it was.
Did they finally get it?
Slow. Well,
you're too slow. Okay, Sonic.
In Lost Woods to reach Ganon still appeared to be viable.
It
just needed a little modification. Sure enough,
just a tiny bit.
Cheese's new SRM
just a little
from Goron City, combined with a faster position and angle setup for the unloaded bush developed by Save State, seemed to be just what the route.
Like I think I just.
This new route.
This is nuts.
For Ganon to be reached faster than ever before.
I really want to do something like this at some point. I think I just need to like actually try to speedrun something at one point. I love this stuff. It's so fun to me.
On August 23rd, Save State put their idea to the test once more. And here's what happened.
That's Save State right now, just... Boom. There's the Ganon. Look how calm. Look how calm Save State is. Just focused and absolutely elegant. No mistakes. Just pure skill. That's very gamer.
I do not know.
He doesn't know. It's 4 minutes 30. 4 minutes 40. Yeah, the Japanese makes the text go faster, if I recall, but I don't think they're gonna get credits, but they did beat. They beat him. Yeah, the fact that the cutscene cost the time is nuts. I feel like if cutscenes didn't do time,
I missed the split.
It'd been fun.
We got there. Oh my god. What was that?
But
like
we saw that slash.
7?
I smashed my mic.
Oh my
I
god.
smashed my mic. My bad.
There was so much lag there. I was like, is it actually
That was
3
awesome.
seconds? So look at my hands. This is crazy.
Yeah. That's how.
After several failed ideas that were just
looked calm in the moment.
Slow, the Brawl
But really,
of Ganon
this is amazing. Mad respect.
What's next? Will other people attempt this challenge? Would this
I don't know.
be allowed
I don't
on
even know.
Leaderboards? Well, recently, top Japanese speedrunners Sundere
They're doing
and
it now?
CMA have recently been attempting Brawl demo speedruns
Ah,
and
so
managed
cool.
to become the second and third people respectively to reach the credits within the Brawl demo.
That's so cool, man.
As for the speedrun being allowed on
I
the
love speedrunning
leaderboards,
communities.
These runs would not be valid under any main categories.
Yeah, they'd
as
have
they
to their
use
own
previous
separate,
save
obviously.
files and not brand new ones. There is a
Still
categories
cool, though.
extension page on speedrun.com though, and a Brawl % meme category would likely
Brawl
be made
%.
there with the subcategories any % and
I love
defeat
that.
Ganon.
Yeah, any
Regardless,
% for
I hope
credits,
you
defeat
enjoyed the
Ganon
story
for
and found it fascinating.
just beating Ganon because you can't get
Ocarina
both.
of Time has
That's
some
so
of the
sick.
richest history and the craziest
Definitely.
stories out of any speed game.
Look at that
And
Mario
this
guy.
has the case for being the
Look how
most
happy Save State looks
extraordinary
right there,
one
too. That's what it's
Special
all
thanks to
about.
Mr. Cheese and Save State for helping me with research and fact checking. This video
Got the
would
Zelda
not
cap in
be
the photo,
possible without
dude.
them, so please go check out their work on their socials. Thank you so much.
I'm gonna
for
say the same
watching,
thing.
And remember,
I'm gonna say the same
shoot
thing.
for the moon.
One, I'm gonna say the same thing. Shoot for the moon. And then there's the music. Okay, I'm gonna say the same thing. Go check them out. But also LunaticJ. LunaticJ. I don't know. I love speedrunning community. I love speedrunning. Legend of Zelda. Come on. I feel like a lot of people love Zelda. I do as well. So this was just like a great video. And, you know, I'm very happy that Brawl got beat.